Hello. So today I want to give you some hints on how to deal with the behavior of your pet that you don't like, that you don't want your pet to have. So I will give you, so that you have an overview, the 3 main steps to do. So the first step, if your animal has a behavior that you don't like and you want him to change, the first step is to really understand what is happening. This means, what behavior is it? Is it fear? Is it aggression? Or is it something purely learned? And why does my pet do this behavior, show this behavior, have this behavior? So that's the very first step. What behavior is it exactly? And not only optically what I can see, but really what is happening inside the animal, and why is he doing this? The second step, that you can only do once you have done the first one, is to see if maybe it's a reflection of yourself. I will explain that a little bit later. The third step is then to show your pet a new behavior to replace the one you don't like. So those are the three steps, really roughly said, 3 steps to do if your animal has a behavior you don't like and you want him to change. So first, understand it fully, then see if it's a reflection of yourself, and the third step then teaching him a new behavior. So if we go a little more into details, this behavior you don't like, or perhaps it's dangerous for you or for your pet. So this behavior you want to change. The most important thing if you want to change is really to understand it. So often I have people coming to me say, my dog is so aggressive, we have to teach him not to bite and not to bark because he's dominant. But when I connect to the dog, I immediately feel he's not dominant, he's not aggressive, he's totally afraid. And that's why he's having this behavior. So it's very important to know what is happening inside your pet if you want to change this behavior. What emotions does he have? What is going through his mind? Why does he think he should have this behavior? What is he gaining from this behavior that you don't like? For example, a dog that is barking a lot, and then you throw a ball, and then he comes back, and for some seconds he's quiet, and then he starts barking, and when you throw the ball, yes, you taught your dog to bark if he wants something from you. So it can be a learned behavior, the behavior you don't like. And really, if it comes from fear or aggression or something that he has learned, or from love, because he just wants to show you his love for you, you would train the dog in a total different way. You would help him in a total different way. Even if the symptoms, for example, this barking is the same, you have to see the layer underneath. You have to know, to understand where it comes from. And this is where intuitive animal communication is a great tool for us to understand why is this pet showing this behavior. Once that we know that, it's always interesting to see, to check, okay, this behavior, does it have something to do with myself? As I've already said, it can be that you taught your animal to do it consciously or unconsciously. But what's more interesting is to see, okay, is he reflecting? Is it a reflection of my own behavior. If your horse is very frightened outside in the woods, have a look at yourself. Are you frightened outside in the woods? If your horse is very nervous when you go to a tournament to sport with him, are you very nervous at that moment? So here it's very interesting to see, is it simply a reflection of myself, or is it the horse, the dog, the cat, its own behavior that only he has? And what's even more interesting is to see, okay, it's not a one-to-one reflection of myself, like I am nervous, therefore my horse is nervous, but perhaps my dog is aggressive, I am very calm, but inside I have a lot of aggression that I don't know how to deal with, and I don't want to look at, and I try to keep as small as possible so that it doesn't come out. The dog knows it, the dog feels it, the dog expresses it. So this is also good if you want to change the behavior of your animal, to see, okay, does it have something to do with myself? Is there something I can work on myself before working with my pet on this topic? And then the third part would be, okay, no matter if it's really from the animal or from you or both, a mix of both, the third step would be to train your animal a new behavior. So of course, before you work on the emotions on everything, but I wanted to keep it short. So now the third step would really be to train a new behavior. And training, there's also this emotional training, this mental training, everything together. So here it's important for you to know, and I repeat it because I see it many times when I'm working with clients. For example, they don't want their dog to be aggressive towards other dogs when they walk on the leash, or to react to other dogs, let's say it that way, to react to other dogs when they walk on the leash. And so the situation is like that. They walk with their dog on the leash, another dog is coming. My dog is starting to be nervous and I don't like that. So I just say, no, 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 stop it, no, stop it. And that's it. And your dog will not respond to this stop it, perhaps once, perhaps twice, but not more, because what should he do instead of that? So it's much easier for the animal if you tell him, okay, instead of simply saying, no, don't do it, tell him what he should do, what you want from him, what is the best, the better situation. And in this example, it would be, okay, I see another dog is coming. I don't want my dog to be too excited about it. I want it to stay in my, yes, I don't want it to be too excited. So the solution is I want him to stay focused on myself. Good. For example, I can teach him to walk heel for several meters. Or I could take a toy out. Or I could just turn around a little bit. So we tell your dog what he should do and really tell him what to do. Train this with him. Train this new behavior with your animal. So you have the behavior you don't want. You have to know what you want to replace it with. And then you teach your animal this new behavior. And most of the times, the animals are more than happy to let go of this other behavior you don't like, because they feel that you don't like it, but they have no other options. They don't know what to do. But if you teach them something else, they are more than happy to show a new behavior. And of course, like everything that is learned, there are always days where it works perfectly, and then for some days it doesn't work at all. They fall back in their old behavior, and then they come back in the new one. Yes, you have to accept that. That's exactly the same for yourself. If you, I'm sure every 1st of January you have this intention of going, for example, to the gym or not drinking any alcohol for the rest of the year. It works for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and it starts to break. And then, okay, now I want to do it this year. You change your mind again. Okay, I'm going to the gym. I stop drinking more alcohol, but you fall back in your old behavior. And for the dog, it's the same. For the horse, it's the same. For the cat, it's the same. Once they have a behavior, they want to change, but it's not that easy for them to change. So you have to be patient there and really teach them the new behavior over and over with a lot of love, showing them how good it is for them to have this new behavior. Some animals simply have to understand the why. They want to understand why they are doing this. It costs energy to learn. So they want to know why. What is the benefit for your pet? Not for you, for your pet. What is his benefit when he's changing his behavior? So I hope this inspired you, and see you very soon for a new video. Bye.